Hello, Ronglings! This video is going to be about just showing you inside the van, so you'll show you what I've done. It was supposed to be the first video that came out, but I did a video before this which wasn't a very good one because I was going out anyway, I just grabbed the camera at the last minute and thought I'd film some stuff, and so that ended up being the first one, whereas inside the van was supposed to be the first one. Anyway, this video is going to be about the van. Now, I'm not going to put on the title, I don't think, van conversion, because you might expect some sort of penthouse. This is not. I've spent a lot of money on the van, so I don't have a lot left, so I'm trying to do it as cheap as possible. In certain areas I spent a bit because I as far as I was concerned, it had to be spent a lot, but generally speaking I haven't spent a lot, and that goes hand in hand with the fact that I still need this to be a van, a working van. It's not my job to use a van, but I mean, I've got a lot of DIY projects and stuff lined up in the future, and I need it to be used for that, so it had to be something that I could remove easily, so there was no plumbing or expensive builds or frames or stuff, whatever. So I don't want to call it a camper conversion. I want to call it a can sleep in it comfortably conversion. I'll show you around a minute. First thing I'll say is, because I didn't film it, the first thing I did was to insulate it, and I bought 2 rolls of insulation from B&Q. It's stuff that's recycled from plastic bottles, so good for the environment, and also but good for your lungs as well while you're putting that up. There's nothing in there that's harmful, and obviously if you sleep in the van, that's a bonus as well. Excuse me, because I'm hiding behind the van at the moment. It's blowing a gale here, and I'm sort of having to hide behind it to keep out the wind. So yeah, and I bought some really cheap adhesive from B&Q as well. Spray on adhesive, you just spray it on the wall, wait 30 seconds and stick it. And all I did was take the ply off. The people that sold me this put brand new ply all around it to make it all nice and sparkly for the next prospective buyer. And so all I did was take that off, put the insulation behind it, and then screw the thingies back on. That's all I did. I didn't use sound deadeners, and 2 reasons. One is I think it's a bit of a waste of money, because once you put all your stuff inside it, insulating it and all that lot, it's deadening the sound anyway. But also I noticed that Ford do Ford do put that in there themselves. Can you believe that? Because I took all the panels off and had a look, and they are sound deadening on the panels. And they sprayed over it the same colour as the van, or painted it or whatever, but it is sound deadening. I looked it up, so they put a lot of sound deadening on it anyway, so who knew? As far as I'm concerned, looking around the van, it's blowing a gale. I don't know if you're going to hear this. I'll say it before I go around. For me, it's Ford Transits all the way. I've driven all sorts of other vans. I've been alive a long time. I've driven all sorts of other vans for various reasons. For me, it's Ford Transit all the way. So when I was looking for a van, it was just Ford Transits I was looking at. I'll show you around sort of wordlessly, because I think you're not going to be able to hear me anyway. She's a beaut. Now, I can't see because the hair is in my face. Right, so back round out the wind. I didn't take the bulkhead off, and you'll see it's got no windows. Now, it's that hand-in-hand thing again. I haven't got the money for the windows, but I didn't take the bulkhead off because I didn't really see the monetary point. Because what I mean is, if you take the bulkhead off, the only reason I would do that is to put captain's chairs in it, because you can't get into the back because the seats go all the way across, and that's the way I want them. So you can't get into the back, you have to get out the cab to get into the back. So I didn't see the point of taking it off, and maybe to put captain's chairs in, but there's 4 of us sat on the sofa bed sofa in there the other day, and we had room to spare. So I don't think I'd do that either anyway, put the captain's chairs in. So I didn't really see the point of taking the bolt head off. Plus, in this part of the country I'm in, everyone's really stingy with land. Nobody gives you anything without you paying for it, and if you don't pay for it, then they don't let you on it. So I'm being attacked by a dog again. I'm going to move. So I hope you can hear this, because I've just been nearly mauled by an animal. So as you can see, if you look inside, if from a stealth point of view, I mean, you're forced into doing stealth basically. I can go back now, the dog's gone. You're forced into doing stealth basically because of the stingy landowners that don't let you go on the land, or you have to pay for it. So stealth isn't really a choice I have per se. I don't really enjoy it, but I do it because you have to. So from the stealth point of view, you know, a van turns up and you think, oh hello, he's parking in the car park overnight, and bloody dogs. He's parking in a camp in the car park overnight, so you can go up with his torch, you can shine it in, and you can't see anything because it's a van from the outside as normal. And I can have the light in there as bright as I can. Without the bulkhead, you look in there, you see a curtain, you think, oh, camping, and you've got to worry about light bleed and all that lot. I can have the light as bright as I want in there, nobody can see a thing. So I left the bulkhead in and I left the windows out, and I'm happy with that. So let's go inside. Here we go. So firstly, I'm going to talk about the bed. I hope you can hear me. I'm going to talk about the bed because it was 260 from, I don't know, open the back door as well. Get some light in, put big light on. So it was 260 from Etsy, and to be honest, and you can see it's one of those finger ones, you know, the interlocking finger things. You pull this out and it becomes a double bed, blah blah blah. It was flat pack, and it was a waste of money, an absolute waste of money. It didn't come with handles for the cupboards, and the doors actually went inside. When you let go of them, they actually went inside, so I had to put a scrap piece of wood inside so that it would sit up against something. They had runners on them, they came out. I don't know if it's because it's look at that, look, that's ridiculous. It had runners running along each side. They came out, which was slightly strengthening it, and it left this all wobbly. I've tightened these screws up so many times, but at the end of the day, you can see what's happening there. So it's pulling out as a double. I'll leave that for now. Pulling out as a double, it's no good. And I hadn't even slept on it when it started to do all this, when all the bits fell off and stuff like that. I hadn't even slept on it. I was just pulling it out just to test it out. And it says it's meant for 4 transits, but I had to cut bits out to get it to fit in over the wheel arches, and essentially it was a load of rubbish. I'm going to at some point I bought some L-shaped brackets. I'm going to put them inside and try and strengthen that little wobbly bit I showed you. I had to cut half the leg off the back because sorry, I just realised something wasn't switched on. So I had to cut the leg out the back to allow it to fit in properly over the wheel arch, and you know, so I was cutting things off of it, adding things, bits fell off, and waste of money. So don't buy it. I think it's 260 from Etsy. Don't buy it. I bought it to be quick. The van was given to me a lot later than I was told it would be given to me, so I had very little time, so it was a quick fix. It's made in 2 parts though, so it's handy to be able to just pull it out. But yeah, and I had to take lots off the back, and I could go on forever about all the stuff I've had to do to try and get it to fit in and stuff like that. Right, so if we go around to this bit, this is my stove. Alright. Now the stove was I already had, so Bob's your uncle. And I needed to get it on put it on something, and it just so happens that I've just moved house, and in the lockup, in the lockup I happened to, because I moved a load of stuff to a lockup, because I was kind of running out of time and I had to move stuff quickly, and so instead of, I didn't have time to deal with it, so I just moved a load of stuff into a lockup. And then I was in the lockup looking around, and with that, not with the thoughts of trying to do this, but I noticed this this cabinet was in here, a metal cabinet from IKEA. Had it for years. It was in another house, and I cut the legs off it to make it lower in the previous house, not this time. And it just so happens it's, in a perfect world I'd have it a bit shorter so I could get through the door a bit better, but I mean, you've got the back doors. But so it sits on there just lovely. And this I took the legs off because the legs only just fit on the top there, and it just kept, I didn't even try it, I could see it was going to slide off when I was driving. So I took the legs off and I screwed them down, so this is actually screwed to the top, and this is held on with just a couple of really thick cable ties. And around the back you can see it's sat in, where is it, it's sat in these little cups that are screwed to the floor, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but that actually really holds it in securely. So that's my kitchen. And then we have this, I've put loads of stuff on it, so I'm just put them on the floor. So we have this, I wanted surfaces, so I got this kitchen top here. So obviously one thing that's really bad about campers is the lack of space to prep stuff or just put your stuff. So I put this on there. This is something my girlfriend built her own kitchen, as you do, and she didn't miscalculate, but she decided not to use various bits, and they were kind of left over. So she had this top that I made. I would have liked it gone to the end, but it was just, that's the size it is, so that dictated how long it was. I just cut a bit off the back to make it flush, and I wasn't really happy with the size of it. It still wasn't particularly big, so afterwards, as an afterthought, I put this extra bit of flappy bit for a bit more, and it also means I can sit and have my dinner. You know, it's like having a dinner table. And some blue hair of mine, and I put that in it, which I'll probably take off because there's a little pole I put on there to strengthen it, so that, but it actually sits quite happily and quite strong on its own without that. So I think I'm going to take that off later. And then the tap and the bowl were easy. Just pull that. Didn't want to put too much into the design of the tap, so I bought this off of Amazon. It was about £12. It's designed to sit on a bottle, a water bottle, and it's battery powered, and you just press the top and it pumps. So all I've done is cut a hole in it and run the cable underneath into this water bottle. It's not in there yet, but this water bottle, and you've got two functions on it. One is on and off, and the other one gives you 600 ml. So if you press that one, it just gives you 600 ml and then stops. And as you can see, it's loose, because I bought it just to sit in there so I could take it all out when I need to. And it just charges up, and the cable reaches my power system, which I'll show you in a minute. So it doesn't have to move very much, and I can just do that. And I just have the bowl underneath it. I want to get some rubber stuff so it doesn't move around. I thought about sinking it in, and basically, if I want the extra table surface, I can take that bowl away and I've got more table space. So I decided not to sink it in or anything. I just decided to leave it there, which works perfectly fine. And I put a little shelf. We already had this. Put a little shelf up there. I meant to put me, I've got some cups and mugs and that, and they look nice when you put them on there. When you get where you go and set them up, they look nice. So I bought, where are we? So my power supply. Now online, on YouTube, there's all sorts of really complicated and really expensive. They put a huge board with wires and cables and fuses, and I just thought, I don't want to do that. It's expensive and too complicated in that. So all I did was I bought a leisure battery, £227 from Halfords, and I bought this inverter for £70. So, and I was looking into like power stations and that, but for what I needed, you're talking £900–1,200. So obviously that's 227 and 70, you know, just under £300 if my maths is, no, just over £300. And that powers everything. You can see it's got loads of power banks for charging. It charges a fridge, which I'll show you. It powers a fridge freezer. I had a fridge freezer running in there for 3 days, because I went away for 2 days and left it for an additional day, and it was still powering it. And I thought, and I unplugged it after that. It didn't run out of batteries, and I still haven't charged it, because I thought, well, 3 days is kind of like more than it's 24 hours more than I'll ever use it, I think, in one go. So then all I do is I just from here, or take the battery out and take it into the house and charge it when it goes flat or it's nearly flat. Couldn't be easier. The unit, the table, I forgot, is sat on a this is a bedside table, an old one that we had kicking around, and I cut the back out of it so it could fit. You can just see the wheel arch there, so I cut the back out of it so it sits flush against the wall, which made this bit too long, but I left it long, and I angled it backwards so I could sit the battery on it. Just so happens the battery fits nicely underneath, and I angled this battery so it wouldn't, hopefully gravity would keep it that way. I put 2 screws in it as well to hold it, which I don't think were completely unnecessary. So that's my power system. That works really well, and I don't really see any need to change it for anything else. You can have 2 car socket things, you know, and 2 normal 240 volt plugs in it, and as you saw, it had 4 USBs for charging and whatever. The thing I like the most, the thing I absolutely love about this fan, is my fridge freezer. Now this was it wasn't cheap, it was £277 from Amazon, but I wanted one that had dual lids. So when you open one, you're not letting hot air pour into the other. And it's a fridge and a freezer. You can run them independently. You can stop each one. You can have the big compartment as the freezer and the little compartment of the fridge, or you can swap round. And there's a neat little light that comes on, which I thought was awesome. I haven't put anything in it. I've come away and I didn't think to put anything in it. I'm so used to camping without fridges. I just got all my tins and cans, and then you know, I spent all this money on it and I ain't even using it. I will next time. That's the smaller compartment, which I'm using as the freezer. But how cute is that, with the cute little light that comes on? And you can set them here to any temperature you want. Some people were saying on Amazon that they're not true temperatures, you know, it's slightly different to what it says, but I mean, who cares, you know? You put your ice cream in there, and if it's a bit soft, you turn it down a bit. Who cares if it matches with what you little doobie you're sticking in independently? So what difference does it make? So that's I really like that, and that's what I was running for 3 days on that battery, and it still hasn't gone flat. And the last thing is the toilet. There's a little curtain up here for privacy, and if there's more than one of us staying, or if you want the side door open. Oh, the sun's coming out. If you want the side door open for some fresh air, because you know you're having a poop and it's like, you know, so you have the side door open, but you can pull the curtain across and still no one can see in, so a bit of privacy. It's the toilet, and the toilet was 120 something, I think, from Amazon. And the reason I like it is because it's quite a slim design, but it has a gauge at the top for the top tank, and it has a gauge at the bottom for the bottom tank, and it has a really good, it is in use, so I won't show you it, but it has a really good flush on it as well. When you pump it, it goes all the way around the edge and does the whole bowl. I've had some in the past that you pump it and it only does a half-assed job. So it looks nice. It's a slim version, so it fits nice and it works really well, so I'm quite pleased with that as well. Oh yeah, and the cushions as well. These cushions for the bed, I said I wanted. I was looking at the upholstery foam and that, and it's really expensive for a thick upholstery foam, and I didn't want to spend that kind of money. And I was pulling my hair out. See, I was pulling my hair out trying to figure out what to do, and then my girlfriend said, "Why don't you use the cushions from the old sofa that we've got?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, I threw an old sofa away, but I kept all the cushions." What sort of sicko keeps the cushions after they've thrown the sofa away? But well, egg on my face, because they're perfect for this. They're absolutely perfect, because they are comfortable, because they're for a sofa. They're comfortable, and then when you pull the bed out and arrange them all to make a double, it's really comfortable, and there's more than enough to do that. I don't like the colour much, but that worked out really well. So egg and my face were in alignment. So and there's nosy people walking past and looking in the van because I'm talking to myself. So yeah, so that actually worked out really well as well. So that was an expense I didn't have to pay for. So pretty much all the furniture in here I didn't have to pay for. It was only the fridge and the power supply, really. And that's the whole thing. And we've got a nice little picture. See, I haven't got a window, but I can look out the window anytime I like. See, who needs windows? So, and that pretty much solved it. Oh yeah, and just by default, because of the type of van it is, there's also extra storage down here. This is the way, just the design of the so you got that storage under there, which I haven't got anything in at the moment. And then yeah, just close it like that. And that's just Transits, they have that. The newer ones, they have that. My old one didn't. This one has it, and that's kind of really handy storage. And you can also access it from the front by lifting the passenger seat up and accessing the same compartment. And I thought that's really handy, so I deliberately left that space open so I could use it. And I haven't really got anything to put in it, but so it's more space than I need, so that's good. Another reason not to get rid of the bulkhead. That would complicate that area. So that's it. There's nothing else really to show you, and that's how it goes. I hope you've had a little bit of insight, and if you want to do it on a relatively small budget, if